They're moving up now.
Get dog.
Both of them. Here they come. Oh, he was over there. He's on A. I saw him run that way. Oh, yep, behind you. I heard that bell ring.
What is going on, everyone? Griffin here, coming at you with some Cannon and Dallas gameplay, and today we're going to talk about how to expand on the speed/toughness system. So let's head over and check it out. So one of the things that I'm the most excited for in the Covert Ops update is the actual speed and toughness system. That's definitely not a mystery by any stretch of the imagination. I think that if you're going to introduce uniqueness for rogues and bring their identities back into the game, that is going to be the main way to be able to do that. I don't think that the perk changes are significant enough to actually bring some of this identity back into the rogues, in my opinion. But I think that the speed and toughness thing absolutely does what they're trying to accomplish. And with that being said, I really hope that they expand on that system astronomically to be able to introduce even more things into the game that give the rogues a lot of different feeling whenever you play them, especially since weapon mastery is here to stay. I have a couple of examples that I would like to throw out there, and I'd like to hear everybody's feedback on it. And this is just something that's been kind of rattling around in the brain a little bit. I actually spoke to Radthar about this the other day while he was streaming. You know, he doesn't talk about Rogue Company all that much anymore, and I do want to get him on an episode of the broadcast, but you know, he was like, that's kind of interesting. So I'm very interested to hear what the mass community thinks about it that actually sees this video. So one thing that I would like to see them introduce, like first of all, I think that the baseline for the game needs to be at the 3 pip, 3-star, 3 diamond level. I don't think that it needs to be the 2 level. I think that it needs to be 3, and it needs to scale accordingly. You can still do it in increments of 5, so you can have a 10%, you know, bonus to damage resistance. You can have a 10% bonus to speed, things like that. And if that's too much, you can go in there and adjust those values. Maybe the toughness goes up by 5%. Maybe the speed only goes up by 3% or 4% or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you can go in there and make slight changes to this system, but I think that it needs to be notated 100%. And I understand why they keep it at 5%. It's easy to remember, it's easy to understand, and it's easy to keep straight all across the board. But I feel like the baseline needs to be at a 3, 100%. But one of the things that I would like to see them introduce is handling, like weapon handling, right? So you have different rogues that have different skill levels, right? You know, Seeker is not going to be as familiar with weapons and be able to handle weapons as well as someone like, let's say, a Trench or an Anvil, right? Because he's not seasoned. He's not been out there. Like, I think Seeker's, 17 years old, and then you've got like Trench and Anvil that's probably like in their like early 40s, you know, maybe late 30s, early 40s. So you've got to factor in experience into some of this individuality. And I think that weapon handling is definitely one of those things that could make the rogues feel a little bit different. You know what I mean? And you can use this as a way to balance some of the rogues. So maybe if their toughness is a little bit higher, maybe their handling isn't quite as good. And I think that you could actually go in there and leave the handling for the weapons alone, or make some slight changes before this system is introduced, and then introduce the handling system into the game. That way you're like, okay, this rogue with this weapon, you know, is going to feel great, but this rogue with that same weapon is not going to feel anywhere near as good, and you're actually going to have to fight it a little bit more. It's kind of like attachments on Call of Duty, right? Every little attachment is going to affect how you handle the weapon, how the recoil pattern is, and all this kind of stuff. So give us a little bit of that with the actual speed/toughness system. Next up is flinch. Now, this is something that I would like to see introduced into the game a little bit more, is actual weapon flinch whenever you're taking shots or taking oncoming damage. You really see it whenever you're playing against snipers, especially snipers that are really good at their craft, because, you know, if I'm getting headshots and landing consistent headshots on a sniper and I'm actually challenging that sniper, it should be a little bit harder for that person to actually hit me. They should actually introduce some type of flinch, and I think that goes with experience and like actually how the rogues actually play. That coupled with the handling is going to really define how you're able to capitalize on a specific situation depending on what rogue you actually play. Health regeneration is another thing. You know, they have the bounce back perk into the game. And my thing is like, get rid of the bounce back perk. Bake the bounce back perk into the identity of each individual rogue, right? So you're going to have some people that are going to be able to recover a little bit faster, right? So for example, Anvil is probably going to be able to recover a little bit better than Lancer is going to be able to recover whenever they're taking bullet damage and things like that. And I think that if you have a 5-star system to where like maybe you get, you know, negative 5%, you know, or negative 5 seconds on your health regeneration, you know, not something that crazy, but I'm just sticking with the 5 things here. But maybe, you know, you get that negative, but you also get that positive where your health regens a little bit quicker. And they could do that at a 3-star system, and I still think that it would work, and it would make it things very interesting. And that would eliminate the bounce back perk out of the game, bake it into the rogues, and then you can introduce another perk into the game. Hip fire. I think that the ability to control recoil and how you handle actual hip fire makes a lot of sense for some of the rogues. Scorch would technically have better hip fire than someone like Trench, right? Absolutely. 100% all day long. Same thing with Lancer. She would definitely have a better hip fire than someone like, let's say, Cannon. You know, like it's, well, maybe not Cannon because he's got the minigun, but you see what I'm saying here? Like, I think that if you incorporate hip fire and then handling as like 2 different, you know, definitive values that you can kind of control from the developer side, then it's going to make that game feel a little bit different and a little bit more unique per rogue. And then objective speed. Now, this was something that I actually had written down as like bomb plant / defuse time, but objective speed where, for example, whenever you run into a game on demolition and you have a glitch, let's say glitch has a 5-star, 5 pip objective speed. He's able to plant that bomb in like half the time that it currently takes to plant it. And then maybe he can defuse it in half the time, you know, or maybe whenever he's on a hill in King of the Hill. That gives it a little bit more dynamic play style whenever you're playing these specific game modes, because it's like, hey, we need one rogue that has 5-star on an objective speed, right? We need someone on King of the Hill that can actually get on the hill and make it happen a little bit faster, right? You gain those points a little bit faster. You contest it a little bit faster. You plant the bomb a little bit faster. You defuse it a little bit faster. And then you have other rogues that may not necessarily be really good with objective speed, like Lancer, for example. Lancer is primarily used as a flank. That's kind of her role in the game. So why should she be as good at planting the bomb? She doesn't seem like she's too tech savvy with that kind of stuff. She's just kind of there. So let's like make it take longer for her to plant the bomb or longer for her to defuse the bomb. And I think that if you introduce some of these systems into the game, then it will make it feel way better, way more, you know, well-rounded and developed. And it also give a very interesting and unique play style to the game. And it would kind of develop this like real team comp feel. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that like the individuality of the rogues goes hand in hand with the actual team comp that you have. It's like if you want to set up a team comp, you need at least one breacher, you need at least one support, and you need at least, you know, a glitch, right? Because glitch is the only person that can glitch right now. They can make that kind of happen. So you can kind of fill out a cheese version of a, you know, team comp, but I would like a little bit more options to make it feel a little bit different and a little bit more dynamic. But be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. What would you actually add to the speed / toughness system? What are some things that they could actually bake into the rogues themselves, expand on just a little bit, and actually give a little bit more individuality to each individual rogue? Be sure to let me know what you think. Also, be sure to check the description for links to Facebook, Discord, and Twitter. Those are the places to contact me. And if you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, on Thursdays from 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. Central Time, I will be streaming here on YouTube. So if you're available, please feel free to stop by, hang out, and run some custom matches with us. And then on Sundays from 10 a.m. until we get tired, my wife and I will be doing a couple streams. So if you're available, please feel free to stop by and hang out. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm revealed. I'm gonna pull them to me. Yep, here they come.
Oh, her knife's right here. Both of them right there. Damn it.
Shots.
Oh, they're healing.
Ah, damn it, of course they are.
Right, there's two right around the corner there. Give it to him, son.
Fucking dummies.
What are they doing?
Give me up, give me up, give me up, give me up.
Thank God they didn't have a fucking bomb or something to toss in that motherfucker. Like,
I know, right? God damn,
she
dude.
almost got us with that knife.
Yeah.
I was hoping that we'd blow it up as she ran up on it.
And that fucking
That was fucking intense, dude.
was.
2 in a row, we beat him with 3.
I had to get up and walk. Like,
Hey,
as soon as it
Legs out a little
ended,
bit.
yeah, I had to walk.
I mean, look
a
at the numbers though, goddamn.
My heart was pounding.
Literally only one of them did better than me or you, Adam.
And to be fair, she was using Lancer, so
Yeah, exactly.